Okay, today I'm going to show how to extract the little screw, plastic screw that's on the back of these projector spindles. And if they get broke off, all it leaves is a little tiny, we'll zoom in on this, but it just leaves a little plastic stub in the end of this spindle shaft. So I'm going to show how to get that out, and then where you can find replacement screws to put back in and get your projector up running again. Okay, so all we need to get that little piece of plastic stub out of that film spindle is a heat source, like a little propane or even a lighter, and a pair of needle nose pliers or regular pliers. Okay, so all we got to do is turn on our heat, and we just take and heat this up just a tiny bit, and that plastic will expand. It'll move right out of there. It'll drop right out. That's how you get those screws out. Let that dry, and we can go ahead, and once it cools off there, we'll grab a hold of that now, and we should be able to pull the rest of that out. That's how it's done. That's how easy it is. Just heat that little shaft up a little bit. The air inside of it helps push the plastic out. This 2-screw set can be purchased on our website at www.tibetanlampmodules.com. Okay, so here's how this goes together. You take the spindle, the spindle arm cover, okay, you take your spindle, you put it up in there through that little bushing bearing, and the first piece to go on is this little spring washer, and it only goes on one way, and that then is followed by one of these little flat washers. Okay, you put the little flat washer on there, then goes on the little plastic gear, and that's round, so it doesn't matter where it goes on there. That's the friction clutch. So then on top of that goes one more washer, and it too is keyed, so it only goes on this spindle one direction. Then another flat washer, the keyed flat washer over the top of that. Okay, now if you push down on this, you notice it has some spring to it. That's what this little pressure bushing is for, and it goes right on the outside of the spindle shaft, and then the screw is screwed in on top of that, and depending on how tight you tighten up the screw, depends on how much slippage there is on that spindle. I've got this screwed in pretty good and quite a bit of pressure on there, and what you want to do is you want to feel this. You hold your finger in there and kind of hold it on the gear. And then turn the spindle on the back side. If it's real tight, if it's real hard, you loosen it up just a little bit so that it won't, if something happens and your film gets caught. It doesn't break your film trying to reel it onto the reel. So you put your finger in here on the little gear, and like I say, then turn the spindle both ways and kind of feel the pressure. If it feels real tight, then you can back this off just a little bit. There, it feels just about right. It doesn't hurt my finger to hold it, and I can spin it. It doesn't really slip bad. That should be just about right. Again, if you're missing that little, if your spindle fell out of the arm and you're missing that little pressure bushing that goes under the screw, you're going to be in sad shape. It's not going to be possible just to screw it on there and hope that it works. You got to have that little bushing so that it puts the proper pressure on that little plastic gear, and that's what gives you gives it the slippage so that it doesn't tear your film apart. So that's that, and that's the proper assembly. Again, it's that little clip spring, a little flat washer, the plastic gear, flat washer, the pressure bushing, then the screw. And that's how it all goes together.